What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is Ready to Love Season 6, Episode 10, Season 5, Season 6, child. Anyway, so we left off last week with the whole cliffhanger of who's going home, Tori or Paul. I don't think it was a cliffhanger for anybody. I think we all knew Tori was going home. So after Sabrina gives her speech and, yada, 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 Tori goes home. Tori seems to be in a good place about it. He seems to be in good spirits and said, listen, it's just the end of the road for me and it is what it is. He said that, he got tunnel vision. He was focused on one person instead of looking at other connections. And so when that didn't work out, he was sort of kind of stuck. We see it happen all the time. So after Tori leaves and Tommy lets them know, listen, hey, we getting down to the nitty gritty, yada, yada, yada. We see Sabrina and Demetrius have this conversation where Sabrina is basically telling Demetrius that she needs more from him. She needs more affection. She needs to know he cares. She needs to know that he is interested. Like she needs that from him. And he's like, okay, I hear where you're coming from. He was like, well, I think neither one of us. I think both of us. And he's trying to let her know, listen, this is going both ways. Like, you might not be getting everything you need from me affectionately wise or affectionate in the affection department is the best way of saying it. But I don't feel like I'm getting a whole lot from you either. And she was like, okay, well, both of us can work on this. And, and we can both be intentional in this. That word intentional, they use it so much. Anyway. And Demetrius is letting her know, listen, like, I feel like I've let you know that I'm interested. You're waiting for me. He said, I'm a very, basically what he's saying, I'm going to cut through the bull. What he's saying is, the way I'm moving through this process isn't who I really am when I'm dating. When I'm dating one person, then that one person gets certain things from me, but because we're in this process and it started off with 10 other people or 10 people, I have moved in a different fashion. So then we have Carmen and we have Donovan in the hot tub, and I feel like Donovan and Carmen have sort of solidified their connection at this point. She said, hey, I was trying to see where everything was gonna go with Paul, but Donovan, me and him just seem to have that connection. We're connected. We have a lot in common. We have good conversation, and they were having a conversation just about intentions and where they are and where they're trying to be. And so it was a good conversation. Later on, we see him sliding into her bunk bed. So I guess they did have a good conversation. Okay. Then we see Dakia talking to Clifton. And I felt really bad for Clifton in this moment because Clifton said, listen, my intention when I came down here, and what I can also do is I can respect how Clifton handled this. Because he told her, listen, my intention in coming down here was to spend time with you and spend time with Joy. Both of y'all are my connections, and I really wanted to see where it was. He said, but once I got down here, my connection with Joy is just so strong. And I apologize. He said it was never my intention to hurt you or lead you on. Like, we really did have a connection, but Joy, my connection with Joy, it just won over. And Dakia was like, well, I can appreciate it. It would take a blind man not to see that the two of you guys really, really do have a connection. And it doesn't make me happy. Like, I'm happy for you, but I ain't happy for me. It doesn't make me happy that you have this strong connection with somebody that's not me. And it was a sad thing. Like, you could definitely tell that Clifton was upset by it, and the kid was definitely upset by it, and there were tears, and I felt bad. But it's just undeniable that there's a connection with Joy. Did y'all peep that they had a second set of onesies the next morning when they were cooking breakfast, that both of them had on onesies again? They are connected. And I hope it works out for them because they seem like they really have a connection. Anyway, so then we see the hot tub. Sabrina and Demetrius are in the hot tub with Joy and Clifton, because Clifton was actually on his way to the hot tub when he had to stop and had this conversation with Dakia, and so they were waiting for him in the hot tub. And as soon as he got in the hot tub, him and Joy were like this, right? And Joy was like, "Are you okay?" And he was like, "I'm okay." But other people, she was like, I ain't worried about other people. I'm talking about you. Are you good?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm good." He was like, she was like, "Well, that's cool. Listen, I love, again, I also love how Joy moves through this process because she has been confident without being overbearing, without being jealous, without being catty, but she's been very clear on her connections and who she's cool with and who she's not cool with. She's been very clear on that. But here's where Sabrina gets on my nerves. So Demetrius, by her own admission, Demetrius is going out of his way to try to be more affectionate. He's rubbing her feet in the hot tub. He's being very, letting her know. He's trying to listen to what she said she wanted from him, and he's trying to do it. So then Joy says something about, being about Sabrina being affectionate to Demetrius, and she has the nerve to say, I will when the time is right. I will. And then she gonna say in her confessional, Demetrius is showing me what I need from him, and but I don't feel like that I have to give everything, and I'm gonna move at my own pace because I still have a connection with Donovan, and I just need to move at my own pace. And I'm thinking to myself, so what you want from Demetrius, you're not willing to give to Demetrius? Because let's be clear, again, we are on a show where the whole expectation is that you're going to date multiple people at one time. I think it's okay for you to be a little flirty with Demetrius in the hot tub, even though Donovan is in another room being flirty with Carmen. Like, that is what we are here for, y'all. And I felt like that was really unfair of Sabrina to make a big deal to Demetrius about what he's not giving her, and then when the opportunity presents itself for her to give it to him, she doesn't return the favor, and even makes it seem like, well, I don't have to do that if I'm not ready to do that. Well, maybe Demetrius ain't ready to do it either. So I said, yeah, Sabrina, I don't know, I got my eye on you, girl, because you got a whole lot with you, okay? So everybody goes to bed, child. They have a good time to go to bed. The next morning, they're up cooking breakfast, and who the hell shows up? Tina. And of course, everybody is looking at her like, hey, girl. Because it's like, what are you doing here? Where did you come from? What happened? I haven't heard from you. Donovan said that they had been playing phone tag, but then she sort of stopped texting him back. He was like, well, I'm glad you're okay. So she said, basically, the only person I have any sort of a connection with at this point is Donovan. So she went to talk to Donovan, but she couldn't give him any answers. She couldn't explain to him why she went ghost, why she didn't show up for the weekend, why. And he was like, well, she said, well, I just was trying to work everything out, and I was just trying to figure everything out. And he was like, but that's what we're here for. Like, that was the whole purpose of this weekend, is for everybody to figure it out, and for us to, try to make it make sense. And I'm thinking to myself, she has checked out, she just doesn't know how to check out. She no longer wants to be a part of this process. She just doesn't know how to say it. I don't know if it's contractually she don't know how to say it, or if it's just, I don't know how to say it because I don't have the words, right? But it's irritating everybody. And Paul was like, she fake and I can't do fakeness. And I think Carmen at one point was like, well, do you want to go talk to her? Paul was like, nah, we good. We don't need to say nothing. We all right. So Tina even said to Donovan, well, yeah, because Donovan told her, well, you the rest of the guys are kind of done with you. And she was like, well, I'm okay with that. And he was like, well, do you even want to be a part of this process? Like, do you even want to be involved in this process at this point? So then, she made a comment about how nobody spoke to her, which is not true. Everybody spoke to her. Now, they spoke to her in that, girl, hey, girl. Like, it was like that, but they spoke. So then Carmen went out there to talk to her, and Carmen was like, listen, I ain't even all that tight with Tina, but I really want to check on her and make sure she all right, because she just sitting out here by herself, and I'm just trying to make sure she good. And she couldn't even really articulate a conversation with Carmen. I'm just not sure what the deal was with Tina. Like, I really think that the situation with Tina was, I no longer want to be a part of this process, but I do not know how to, like, if I just don't show up, maybe they'll, let me go. If I, don't participate, if I don't give them anything, like, I just don't know, and she said that, she no longer really has the connection with Paul. She said Demetrius reminds her of her ex, and so she's not really feeling that. And so, but she said she had a closer connection with Donovan, but I didn't even see where she was really giving Donovan all of that much attention. But anyway, so then we have a date with Joy and Clifton, and basically that date was just you want to go with me? Yeah. Check the box, yes or no. Okay, yes. You like me? Yeah, I like you. I like you too. Well, like really isn't a strong enough word. We ain't at love yet, but we more than like. I mean, we complete each other's sentences. I mean, I really want to be intentional in this. I want us to be very clear. And it was cute, but it was pretty much okay, it's me and you date. You know what I'm saying? Then we had Paul and Dakia, and their date was, whew, all right, it's me and you because we trying to hold on. We trying to make it to the end. We trying to stay in this thing. Because I don't really think it's that big of a connection between on Paul's part or on Dakia's part at this point, honestly. But I think both of them have basically put their eggs in other baskets, and now they're kind of floating because Paul had his eggs in Carmen's basket, but I don't think he wants to be there anymore. And of course, we know about Dakia and Clifton. So I think both of them are still in this process, and they're just trying to make it work at this point, because I mean, we pretty much are down to the last three couples. I mean, honestly. But anyway, so then we have a final powwow with Tommy where everybody comes together. So everybody's there except for who? Tina. So Tommy was like, okay, well, you know what? I'll have a conversation with Tina, but let me just go around the room and see where everybody is. So of course, Joy and Clifton don't count. They good. Tommy says, where do you see yourselves in 6 months? And Clifton was like, somewhere on the beach, naked, you know. And Tommy was like, I don't want that visual. He was like, well, you ass. So, you know, they very much are making it work or want to make it work. They're on the same page and they're solid. So then he goes to Paul. And so Paul starts talking about how, you know, he thought he had a connection with Tina, but she was tripping. He wanted to have a connection with Carmen. And again, I feel like Paul was being nice and choosing his words. And basically he was like, you know, whenever I was with Carmen, she always wanted to know about other people. And I was like, why are you worried about what I'm doing with other people? It's me and you. You know, and he basically said, I don't feel like she's sincere in going through this process. And I don't understand. So y'all know Carmen is not the 1, the 2, or the 3. So Carmen was coming back at Paul. And Paul was saying how he had a really strong connection with Dakia and how he was excited to continue to get to know Dakia, yada, yada, yada. So, baby, Carmen blew his whole spot up. Carmen was like, first of all, you know, I'm just trying to have a conversation with you. When I ask you about you being on dates with the other ladies, I'm just trying to make conversation. I'm just trying to, you know, see what's going on. You know, she was like, it ain't that serious. She said, as far as all of a sudden now you got this strong connection with Dakia, I mean, that's making me kind of be like, really? Because you told me that you wasn't really feeling Dakia like that. You told me that you wasn't really, and that Dakia wasn't sexy to you, and she ain't do it for you. And so, of course, Paul is like, and the first reaction, I'm sorry, Paul, but the first reaction that I saw from Paul looked like, I can't believe she said that. Not, I didn't say it. It looked like she really repeated that. So even though I think Carmen got a lot of shit with her, and I think Carmen is the mean girl of the season, I don't know, Papa. But of course, he said it was BS. He said he never said that it's a lie. And the kid said, well, I don't believe nothing that come out of Carmen's mouth because Carmen has had it out for me, and whatever reason Carmen don't rock with me. So I don't believe nothing that's coming out of Carmen's mouth. But I don't know. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. That's all I'm going to say about that. So then Sabrina is speaking, and Sabrina is talking about her situation with Demetrius and Donovan. And she says that her concern with Donovan is that, you know, he's still fresh out of a relationship and maybe he's not quite ready to settle down and ready for a long-term relationship or whatever. And then her concern with Demetrius was the same thing she'd been saying, is about the affection and showing that, you know, that he's all in on her. And he was like, listen, let me explain something to you about how I do things and what it looked like for me. He was like, I don't give the person I'm dating my everything. I reserve that for my girlfriend. So you're never going to get all of me in this process. You're never going to get what it seems like you're looking for through this process, because I hold things back intentionally because there's certain things that only my girlfriend will get. Donovan was over it because he was over it from when Carmen, Paul, and Dakia were arguing, because he was like, that's some real juvenile high school shit, and I'm just not understanding why we doing it. But I feel like he was also over it when it came to Miss Sabrina, because he was like, how she gonna be tell me when I'm ready? I'm telling you I'm ready, baby. It got real heated. So then Tommy said that next week you got to meet the families, and he's gonna have a conversation with Tina, because it's not fair that everybody else is there really trying to be sincere in this process, and Tina is doing whatever the hell Tina is doing. So he set up a meeting to meet with Tina. Baby, Tina done stood Tommy up. Like I said, I feel like she no longer wants to be a part of this process and just doesn't know how to say it, because you have to know that standing Tommy up is a pretty good way of getting put off the show. So, yeah, Tina gone. Next week, I feel like we still need to get rid of one more lady, I think, because we have the Kia, Sabrina, Carmen, Joy, and then we have Clifton, Paul, Donovan, and Demetrius. So no, but I don't think they keep 4 couples. But if Tina leaves, we got a 4-and-4 situation working. I don't know if I did that right. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think, though. Drop it in the comments. Peace.